Hello and welcome to FUD TV. My name's Elio Trades and I do daily cryptocurrency videos on this channel. Today we're going to be talking about some tools that you can use to help create your cryptocurrency portfolio. Now, if you're brand new to cryptocurrency, you're going to want to do some things before you actually start buying crypto. And the first thing you want to do is start to really do your own research. You need to just dig in. And the first way to dig in is to abandon your fear. The people who make crazy money in this industry are the ones who invest early in projects that quote unquote moon. Obviously, everybody wants to be on those moonshots, but how exactly do you find them? First and foremost, you need to understand blockchain. The more you know about blockchain and the actual technology, the more you'll understand what is and what isn't a good business in the space. Second, you need to do a little bit of historical research here. You can't just dive in and expect to understand the movements of these coins if you don't understand where they started and how they grew up to be what they are today. That way, when things happen in today's market, you can have historical comparisons. And finally, you have to question everything, because even people who are trying desperately to be objective sometimes fail to do so. The most important aspect of doing your own research is always questioning and being skeptical of new information. Now that you understand the fundamentals here, you've done a little research on blockchain, you understand the history a bit of these coins, and you're ready to start identifying projects that you think you could invest into. Before just picking coins that you think sound good or have good communities behind them or have hype, what you want to do is identify sectors of the economy. We love to use the example of Amazon, starting with selling books. Jeff Bezos analyzed almost every consumer good on a variety of criteria to figure out what would be the best to sell online in the mid-90s, given especially the consumer skepticism towards online shopping at the time. Bezos determined that books would be an easy thing to sell online, given how transportable, non-perishable, and easy to identify that you had the right product, given that you had the publishing house and the year and the author, you know you have the right book. Bezos chose books not because he loves books or because he thinks books are the best thing ever. He chose books because he knew he could dominate through books. We want you to use that mindset as you start to identify sectors in the blockchain space that could be wildly, radically affected by this new technology. Just like the internet, blockchain is going to be better for some things than other things, and the things that it's really good at fixing, it's going to have the most impact on. So identifying sectors of disruption is critical before you start picking out coins. Some sectors that we think are directly affected by blockchain in potentially the most significant ways are banking and payments, logistics supply chain, privacy, gaming, AI, and medical/ID verification. There are a ton of sectors going on here, but of course they're not all equal. The banking and payment sector is being affected right now, with international banks starting to turn to blockchain to save time and costs on transfers. Of course, the whole supply chain is set to be run on blockchain in the not too distant future. And the thing we love about that sector is this is an enterprise deal where one big company does a deal with another big company, and those deals can happen very rapidly. These are the types of adoption that we love and we understand have a clear path. Obviously, AI is a very promising field, but real AI products aren't going to start affecting the masses for another few years, potentially up to 5 or 6 years before these AI products are really doing the sort of marketplace behaviors that we want them to do. And finally, of course, there's medical and identity verification, which is coming along. But again, is it coming along as fast as payments and logistics? No. So it's important that you identify sectors and understand why you're choosing those sectors so that you can make a sound investment decision. Next, you need to analyze each and every investment. It's so easy to say, okay, I'm going to start investing into logistics and supply chain cryptos, and then pick out 5 of them, split up some money, and dump them in. But that's not really analyzing each project. One CEO doesn't do work for the other one's company. These are all different projects, different organizations, different groups of people. And in order to really understand them, you need to analyze them each individually. Now, this can seem a bit daunting, but it is a process you can get used to. And of course, if you're putting your hard-earned money on the line and you're hoping to get wild returns off of it or potentially even become wealthy from this, then it's worth your time learning about this investment and putting in a little time at the beginning to ensure that your investment goes the way that you want it to go. You need to learn about the tech. And when I say learn about the tech, I mean, is there any tech, or is it just an idea, a white paper as they say? There are projects, even really big ones, who are still in their pre-release stage and they have multi-billion-dollar market capitalizations. So even though a coin is really big doesn't mean it's ready yet. And it's important to understand where in the process you are, where the technology is. Of course, if the technology's out, it's important to know if it's working. Is it doing what it's supposed to do? Are people liking it? Are people flocking to it, using it? Is it being adopted? Then it's a question of the team. What have they done before? Who are they? What are their connections? Why do we think that they have a low execution risk? Why do we think that they're going to deliver on their promises? What makes us believe that? Obviously, partnerships are critical here. If a project has no partnerships, I would say that that makes it more risky. What are their goals? How are they rolling out their technology? When is this happening? Get a sense of when things are supposed to happen so that you're not just investing blindly. Compare this project to other projects in the space and use your noggin. Try to poke holes. Come up with ways that this project will fail. And if you can't come up with any, then you probably have a cool project. You probably have a good investment. But if you haven't tried or you don't want to come to terms with some of the negatives, then you're not making good investment decisions. That's not good investing. Next, we want to talk about diversifying risk. And as you see, we have our buckets here set up. And the point is here that we want things that are in different sectors as well as different market capitalizations. The bigger coins are more secure, but they have less room to grow. The lower coins have more room to grow. They could go 10, 20, 100x in value in a much shorter time period. But the reality is that they also have a much higher chance of becoming zero, as they say, or just rapidly losing a lot of their market share. So you want to diversify your risk by sector, and then you want to diversify within those sectors by market capitalization. Just because you make every decision and you do all the research and you do everything right does not mean that there's not going to be a market turn back or a crash or some kind of event that makes you really question these investments. In fact, given how much power is shifting and money is shifting because of cryptocurrency, the one thing that's guaranteed is volatility. The volatility is the constant. So you have to learn to be okay with this. You have to learn emotionally to prepare yourself for this. And the way to do that is to have strong fundamental analysis. If you know everything about a company or a project, you know everything about a coin, its history, its founders, you know what the founder ate for breakfast that morning, you know that in May they work harder because they're more spring babies. I don't care what you know. The point is that you know so much about this project that even the worst news isn't going to throw you off. And that's because you've completely stopped watching CNBC. Don't watch CNBC, fam. You're welcome. In the 365 days of the year, 9 of them are responsible for the vast majority in a coin's increase in value. That means that if you're playing some games where you're constantly trading and hopping between coins or hopping into Tether whenever anything starts to seem like it's fluctuating, you might miss one of those 9 days. You might miss one of your big sort of rewards. So that's why hodling or holding onto your coins is really a great strategy, and you need to learn emotionally and from a preparatory standpoint with research how to get yourself to a point where you can really do that. Setting up a cryptocurrency portfolio does not have to be that intimidating. However, if you want to do it right, you're going to have to take a little time and learn about this industry. If someone just tells you invest in this or this is great or this is going to the moon, and then maybe it doesn't go there, what's going to happen is you're going to freak out, you're going to question everything, and you're going to start going into a fear cycle. That is the worst place to be. Emotional, scared, uneducated. What you want to be is the person who takes it upon themselves to learn what they need to learn before throwing their money in. Without understanding, you can't set up a portfolio like a pro. We hope you enjoyed this tutorial video on how to start setting up or thinking about your own cryptocurrency portfolio. If you enjoyed it, don't be afraid to smash that like button. And if you have any further questions, don't be afraid to ask them in the comments below. Either us or our community members would love to hop in and tell you any information that you're missing. This is about us all growing and understanding more together. If you like this type of content, we encourage you to subscribe as we do cryptocurrency videos like this each and every day on this channel. Again, this is not meant as professional financial advice, and if you're going to invest, you should always do your own research. My name's Elio Trades. It's been amazing having you with me today on FUD TV, and I'll catch you very soon on the next episode.